welcome to the Stardom Fan Podcast. I'm Mark,
I'm Juno.
and today we were planning on previewing the new Triangle Derby. But first, I think it was worth bringing up what you've been streaming. Give people an excuse to sign up to the YouTube. Click the notification button, especially since you're too hot for YouTube live streams or get taken down. You need to hit those notifications to know when you're going live, or else you might never see it.
If you're not there live, you'll never get to see what's been happening on the live streams. Lots of Tam Nakano sucking on popsicles. Weirdly enough, that's apparently how you become a wrestler. Also, she likes to dance in front of a mirror.
Would you like to introduce what game you're playing live for
And
everybody?
I'm talking, of course, about the New Japan Strong Spirits mobile app game, which is a Stardom video game that just happens to have New Japan wrestlers in it.
Yeah, basically at this point, you can set up an entire game with nothing but Stardom wrestlers, and well,
Well, the funny part is that there's only right now they just put out Tam Nakano and Mayu Iwatani as like wrestler cards that you can use. So since there's only two Stardom wrestlers, what ends up happening is you end up just like having Mayu beat up on Okada, Tanahashi, Naito, or male Shuri, and then at the end you just end up beating the shit out of Tam Nakano. That's what I find happens.
oh, is that the final match?
Yeah, 'cause she's the only other Stardom girl. So the way I like to
That's pretty cool.
pretend in my head is that the two winners of the G1 block or Stardom.
That's yeah. They had an A block, a B block. The girls beat up on the boys, and then they went for the championship. Oh, that's fun. Well,
The only
and
the only person I ever lose to in that game is Jay White because I don't think he has a problem hitting a woman. In fact, I think he enjoys it.
uh, maybe. All right. So that's your reason, everybody, to subscribe. Go to stardomfan.com on the YouTube. Wait, go to Stardom Fan on YouTube. Click the bell button because it's the only way you're gonna watch Juno play with Tam Nakano.
There's also I was playing with Mayu Iwatani and the game you basically just like train up your wrestlers and it's basically all stats, right? Right. You just and then eventually every so often you fight another wrestler. What are those types of games called? Kind of reminds me of like Mortal Kombat or something. Like if you could train up your guy.
It's almost like an RPG. It's like a visual novel meets an RPG. It's a visual novel with stat blocks, and then you watch them wrestle.
There was a part when one of the trainings for my 69 speed, and I'm like, "Oh, 69, that's great," or whatever.
Oh Jesus!
And I was like, "Oh, 69 training with Mayu?" I'm like, "Hell yeah."
Oh no, that caused a ruckus.
Listen, when you have the opportunity to 69 training with Mayu, you don't turn it down.
No, and it's all speed too. Apparently, even better.
Quickest 69 training you've ever seen.
All right. Well, next. It turns out that not only is Shuri the PWI number one woman of the year and probably in the running for Stardom fans woman wrestler of the year, if not, I mean, just professional wrestler of the year. It turns out that she was awarded Utami's award from last year from the Tokyo Sports. Shuri is the 2022 Pro Wrestler of the Year. Any thoughts?
Um, I don't really care about Tokyo Sports Awards or PWI Awards. I think really the only legitimate wrestling award show that happens at the end of the year is going to be the Stardom Fan year-end show. The second annual Stardom what is it award show.
Yeah,
Last year we just had one award, and it was for Utami. She just
yeah.
won it all.
Well, yeah, they only needed one award,
Why don't we do
and
one award this time?
yeah, yeah. Judging by how awesome Shuri is, I mean, can she sweep the big award shows? The time will tell. See if we had anything. Oh, you know what? you brought up to me, and it looks like a huge tournament going on. So it looks like this seems new. At least it's nothing I've ever seen before. Another tournament, and this time it's what they're really good at. 6-person tag festival, triangle derby, one. This sounds amazing.
Yeah, yeah. If you're a fan of people tagging in and out when they feel like, and the ref just standing around with his hands in his pockets, tournament for you. Which is not much different than the tag league.
Or any other wrestling, like literally in the world.
True.
I love the teams.
Yeah, tell me the teams.
Well, we have. It looks like we're doing red. Oh, there's a couple that aren't released yet. Well, that looks like it has Thekla written all over because it has goofy hair. But apparently, there's
Ooh, I
uh,
found the name. I was like, sorry. I'm like, tell me the teams. I'm like, so if you don't have the names, I have some of the names here, which is my
uh,
favorite part of any tag league that they do.
yeah. Well, sometimes it depends on. I didn't see a press conference, so mine's I'm sort of stuck in translation on the news. But H&M's is Komomo, Hanan, and Mayu. That's a
Huh.
amazing team. I love this is one of those where you hope I don't know, right? Just first glance, I love it. And that almost seems like a trend is that they're gonna have a couple stars and then a rookie. And with that, because we have
I don't think they
unique
have that many women on the roster.
you know
They have-
what? Maybe that's why they brought in some kids. Oedo Tai, you might have brought up, has a new person. Team Unique Glare is Starlight Kid, Ruaka, and a girl I don't know, young looking Haruka Umasaki, if that is right on my report.
Probably was on like, oh, she's the one who's always teaming with Starlight on the New Blood shows.
Yeah, well, yeah, she looks familiar, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to watch New Blood this time around. And considering Ladies C had her face bashed in, I think I'm going to go ahead and pretend that show didn't happen too. So yeah, I've definitely seen the face before. So her being on in a tournament's pretty neat too. Um, we have a team which I'm not sure the name of, but they were pretty much the best part of or the only redeeming quality of the last showcase show is the team of Thekla, Julia, and Mai Sakurai. Especially if they
Bari
do the
Bombers.
yeah, Barry. That's funny because mine says Bari Ribbon Birds. But I like the Bombers better because if they're dressing like they did last time they teamed together in fatigues, I am all in.
Yeah,
What did I
Julia might
tell
as
you?
well. I think Julia should shave her head too.
Dude, I told you. I said literally the only thing that saved that entire show was the invention of GI Sakurai. I am all in. Queen's Quest with well, this goes back to what I was saying. So, like, we had Thekla and Julia and Mai Sakurai. So, they sort of have a couple stars, and then the young person. This is sort of the same way. Queen's Quest has Utami and Saya, and then they're bringing around their little friend Azumi to try to get her a win or two. Apparently,
Yeah, I like how some of the teams, like H&M, Bari Bombers. I'm seeing NSA, Unique Glare, and then Utami Sayakamatani.
what's called Queen's Quest.
They
Um,
don't need a tag name.
if you have the list, you might not have the same order, but I would love to get your take on this Cosmic Angels match and who the real leader of this team is.
Well, there's a
Or the Cosmic
leader.
Angels team, I'm sorry.
Well, okay, so there's the cult of Tam. Like that's obviously led by Tam Nakano. But if you want my opinion, here's what I see happening. It's also my fantasy booking is eventually they just realize like Tam's just in it for herself. The reason she has a faction is to make herself look good. You know how like the pretty girl just hangs around like ugly chicks to make herself look better.
Are you
So
calling Natsupoi and Capital Saki ugly?
no, I'm saying that Tam has them around her because like they're really pretty. So like she looks pretty when they're around.
Okay. Okay. I see that a bit. That goes back to the Natsupoi take we talked about last time. Why did she finally land on Natsupoi? Because she's the only one that makes Tam Nakano look like a grown ass woman. You're like, listen, look at us two. I'm apparently the star. When she's next to Mina and Unagi, it's like, well, who's the star here?
Oh, speaking of grown ass woman, eventually I feel like the capital Saki is gonna kick the cult leader to the curb, be the new Cosmic Angels leader.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping I'd get out of you is that your favorite wrestler there. And then it looks like we have a team at a later date that'll be announced. And right off the bat,
Team
because
X, XX, and XXX.
yeah, what's funny? I was like, the one has to be Thekla because of the silhouette and the goofy hair. And quite frankly, if you scroll up and look at the picture of the team, it is like Thekla's hair. So maybe she's pulling double duty.
Who's that Pokemon? That's what it
I was
looks
gonna
like.
say maybe we can figure out who it is, but quite frankly, you could just be right. There's like,
It
oh,
could just be you. It could be someone as big as you. You would know. It could be a generic silhouette.
well, I was scrolling around real quick. I'm like, who is notably not out? And I thought to myself, watch it be Prominence or something. I'm like, oh, but I think Prominence is actually in the blue triangle blue side. So let's do that. So we have a team Rebel and Enemy. This whole blue side is like a bunch of weirdos. It's like the New Blood side. Oh, well, real quick, who do you like out of? Because it's always fun fantasy booking. Who do you like out
You
of Red?
skipped your favorite. You skipped your favorite team. Nate
Oh,
Takahashi, you and Yuna something.
I started like you know how if you don't have anything nice to say, you just like don't say anything. Because quite frankly, like I don't want to be negative. That 7 Up plus Yuna ugh, could be someone's favorite team, and if I sit here and shit on it, like I could be upsetting somebody, and like
That is not someone's favorite team.
well, it could be. So I was happy to just pretend they didn't exist. So, you gotta talk about the stuff you like. Like what did I say about showcase shows? I'm at the point, I gave the first couple a try, and now they just don't exist. Like to me. So as long as they don't exist, I'm much happier with the product in general.
Can I talk about Utami and Saya's press conference for this thing? Saya says, "We
Yeah.
are Queen's Quest. We're powerful, high speed, and high flyers. And we're a strong unit packed with the power of all these three. We'd like to fully demonstrate our power and get results." And then Utami says, "I'm the Queen's Quest leader. I want to win this tournament."
And that is exactly what she sounded like, which makes that amazing.
And I see a team with Starlight Kid, Ruaka, and Hikara, like the girl she's been wrestling with on the all the New Blood shows.
Hmm.
And Starlight just looks like a child next to the children. It's like that TikTok that I like. I reposted of them dancing, and Starlight's wearing like a no onesie. What am I thinking of? Overalls.
Uh,
She just literally looks like someone's child.
yeah. Well, they just don't make anything in her size.
Yeah, she probably does wear children's.
The funny part is she's about 3 inches taller than Thekla.
I don't know though, because there's like an optical illusion. Because I know Tam isn't very tall.
Right?
Like we know for a fact she towers over Natsupoi, right?
Absolutely.
But then I saw, yeah, it was something. It was like Hazuki was standing next to Tam and Natsupoi maybe after a match, and they all looked the same height. And I'm like, there is an optical illusion happening.
It's all the straps on the clothes. You know how verticals make you look wider and like horizontals make you look taller? Maybe that's what's going on. Extra extra horizontal straps. That's yeah, that probably anything you got for the press conference that you come across, bring it on. I think it has its Queen's Quest to win. I think Thekla and Julia didn't end up with an amazing um tag league tournament, so adding my Sakurai isn't like necessarily gonna help. Then Tam and Natsupoi, I don't know. I like
Tam
how do
and
you think they're
Natsupoi came out for this press conference in all white. I guess they're trying to play for some. Their name is Cosmic Angels, but they think their thing is they want to be fairy princesses. I don't
yeah,
get it.
And there's no way that Saki is having any of this, right?
What I was saying is they're coming out in like these designer, like all white outfits, and then Saki's just got like ripped jeans and a hoodie.
That's I didn't even see the press conference or look at the snapshots, and I was literally gonna say, I bet you she came out with jeans and a shirt. So yeah, like she is literally all about like,
Yeah,
come on, guys, can we just like fucking kick some ass?
you you think the girl with 18 piercings on each ear and face tattoos cares about what she looks like?
She is from a team when we first saw them with Smiley, like Hikaru Ishida, who's just happy to be there, right? And uh, those girls, they're
Shimizu.
Shimizu, sorry.
You said Akari Shida.
Ishida. I have something on my mind.
This is a really weird tournament too, because the winners can come out of the same block.
Do you
But
like a winner out of red?
I would say H&M is a pretty cool team, but like Mayu isn't allowed to win anything meaningful.
That is one of
Utami,
my favorite
Azumi,
teams in the entire thing, to
and
be honest with you. I am more interested in watching every one of their matches.
Utami, Azumi, and Kamatani. Like again, like Utami's not allowed to win anything that means anything. So that would be my one of my top picks.
I don't know though. Hold on. I believe that the summer of Utami 2022 was postponed, and we are heading right into the winter
it
of
has been delayed
Utami.
for it has been delayed for snowfall.
we we are moving right into the year of Utami Hayashishida. I mean, I think if you go back to it, she's like on an every other year run, right? So this is her year.
If we check the pattern, it's been well every single year. It's been what we're really looking at is it's been like Utami's year, Utami's year, Utami's year, Utami's year. She's just gotten better and better and better and better until last year. So we have another 4 more years of Utami to look forward to. I think pattern checks out.
I think I actually like them to win this block. They're gonna win another block, and this time go all the way. There's a
Oedo
chance.
Tai is a good favorite.
The kids, that is a super young. That is younger than young OED right there. They couldn't get Rena for the show apparently, unless
Oh,
she's
no,
on the
no.
other block.
Starlight said they're not. We got Team Oedo Tai, which is Tora, Watanabe, and Kashima. That's Oedo Tai. Starlight made it very clear that her teaming with these two children, even though she looks like a child, is not Oedo Tai.
Oh, nice. Maybe Starlight just breaks off and takes the kids with her. Isn't that what we really want? Oedo Tai got worse since Tora came back, so we just want Starlight to take Momo, Saki Kashima, and I don't know. Maybe
I
they can
mean,
keep the
we,
clown.
I mean, we discussed it. We're like, yeah, we discussed who goes who if they ever break up. I'm like, well, Momo and Saki have to go with Starlight because they're the trios champs right now, and
Yeah, obviously, so that makes sense.
Fukigen goes whatever the chain's attached to. Like she just
So,
follows wherever the leash goes. So wherever
so
Saki goes, she goes.
that makes sense.
And who's that even leave? Like you think Raka and Rina? Like they're team young OAD, so they got to go with Starlight.
All right. All right. So then they all split off, and then we're left with Natsuko Tora in a lead pipe. I'm okay with that. All right. Let's introduce some blues. Queen's Quest is going to win the Reds. And the blue team, Rebel and Enemy. It's more new blood favorites. It's that girl in the that has the cool look because she has white face paint and pink hair, but she's a goofy comedy wrestler, I think. Chairman Ram, Maya Yukihi, and Imoka Ozaki.
Well, then you'll like that after that team came out for the press conference, Julia got on the mic and says, "Why are you even here?"
Fair enough. If there's a
And
team
then
to
they
get
said,
0
"But because
points,
we got an invitation from Rossi," and Julia said, "Oh, well, then do your best, but there's no place for you guys here."
yeah, a bunch of new blood kids. At least Julia came out to be like, yeah, it doesn't make sense why you here. And then that's followed by Team Lollipop, with apparently the leader of this team is Waka Tsukiyama.
Just team colors right here.
Rina Amukura and Yuko Sakurai, more new blood girls, teaming up with Waka. Well, the
Or
thing
here we
is,
go. The girls.
apparently,
That's team. That's the other cosmic angel or colors you're never allowed to see.
oh, really? Are they? There's a big colors girl, and then Yuko. We might have seen her one of the times, I guess.
You just don't recognize Yuko because she's dressed like an adult. She usually dresses like a 4-year-old to pick their outfit out.
Oh, well, speaking of 4-year-olds picking out their outfit, we have the team of team classmates with Koguma, who whose paint job on her hoodie looks like a 4-year-old with Hazuki and Saida. That is a good looking team right there.
Yeah, well, 1/3 of it is.
Yeah, Hazuki's pretty cool. You know what? It's funny because when I look at a team like this, I completely agree with you, but the problem is it's all I see is Hazuki. So, I mean, that's fine with me until we get to the all-star team of My Himi with a C? What is did Lady C become the new like free agent? Everyone like what's happening here?
I just am wondering why they all came out in the press conference wearing shirts with no pants, especially Micah.
Well, Micah stopped wearing pants like 6 months ago.
She she gave up pants a long time ago. I hit me with the C.
Yeah, Micah, Himika, Lady C. That's awesome. And is Lady C just gonna defect to DDM at this point? First she teamed with Sakurai and now she's with the best part of DDM over here.
Well, Himika said that after the tag league, she went to Rossi Ogawa and she said she was begging and crying to team up with DDM. And then Lady C said, "No, that's not how that happened."
That's super funny.
She's like, "How?"
Everyone,
Lady C's like, "Don't you guys want to know how this team came about?" And then Himika's like, "Yeah, weren't you crying and begging to team up with us?" Just
so funny.
yeah. So, who do you think is gonna win the blue block, and why is it God's Eye?
Yeah. I'll tell you why it's not. It's probably not because of Ami Soroy, but it has a lot to do with Shuri and the real bodyguard of Mirai. Mirai, Ami,
Oh,
and
yeah,
Shuri,
that's
for heaven's sakes. Now that's a team. The Karate Kid must have had to go back to school.
Amihu.
Ami Soroy, the magical one, the Futures champion. She might
Goddamn
be the
right.
only one with a belt by the time this show starts.
She might be the longest reigning champion in Stardom when the show starts. That's can I? That was my favorite piece of trivia. It's like I do wish Hanan was still the champion. People would say, "Hey, do you know who the longest reigning champion in Stardom is?" And you're like, "Oh, it's got to be Shuri." I'm like, not Shuri. Oh, was
She
it the
had,
white belt champ? I'm like, nope.
she had Shuri by about 3 matches that night, right?
She well, Saya Kamatani had Shuri by like 27 minutes, and
Oh yeah, the white
Hanan
belt
had
changed
Hanan
too
had
that
a
earlier that night. That's so funny.
yeah
They all changed on the same night.
she had like a 3-hour lead on the both of them. So Hanan was the most experienced champion in Stardom for
Wow,
like a year.
is Saya the one to hold on to the belt all the way for a year plus? That God's Eye team is definitely a favorite. However, the complete team of prominence being back together with Risa Sera, Suzu Suzuki, and Karumi Hiragi, they
I'm
can
putting my
get some
money
wins.
on Mystery Team.
I don't think we have a blue mystery team, but what do you know what? It's going to be between God's Eye and the actual Oedo Tai team. It does seem weird seeing uh Tora, Momo, and Saki Kashima teaming up together because it's just like, well, they're champions with Kid. Why would you split that team up?
I think I like talking about the tournaments more than I like watching them.
Like recapping a tournament is something I never want to do with you again. Unless Utami wins, then we can talk about it.
It didn't hurt. It didn't help that the literal worst team imaginable won the tag league.
I like the idea of the try. In conclusion, I like the idea of a trios tournament. I think that's gonna be fun. And I'm
Yeah,
excited to see who the mystery is.
yeah. I wonder when they're gonna announce the mystery people. Maybe it's Konami. Where's she been?
Good call.
Kyrie.
And once again, I'd like to thank you for listening to the Stardom Fan Podcast. I'm Mark, and I was joined by Juno. You can follow all our stuff at stardomfan.com, and it's worth going to the YouTube where Juno talked about the press conference a whole bunch today, and he actually uh, translated and transcribed, whatever you'd call it, and it's awesome. Made a video for it, the whole entire thing. So go to stardomfan.com, click on the YouTube link, and look it up from there. It'd be great. If you'd like to get a hold of us, it's mark at stardomfan.com or Juno at stardomfan.com. Thanks for listening. Johnny.